K-pop Demon Hunters Haja Boys breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle. So glad the Saja Boys could take breakfast and give our meal the rest of the day.
It is an honor to share.
No, it's our honor.
It is our larger honor.
No, really. Stop.
You can really feel the respect in this battle. Pick a meal to pick a side.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
Rakuten opens up a world of rewards. You can earn cash back on fashion, beauty, electronics, pet supplies, kid stuff, groceries. But what I'm here to tell you is, with Rakuten, you get cash back on travel too. Join and save on your next trip. You'll get cash back on the flight, the hotel, and the car rental. Book on your favorite travel sites like Expedia, Booking.com, Viator, Vrbo, Hotels.com, IHG, and more. Save on cruises, vacation packages, and experiences as well. And don't worry, cash back can be earned on top of your credit card points and with many loyalty programs. Because we know you're saving every way you can. So go ahead, take a trip, find that perfect hotel, book an artisan cheese experience inside a cave in Spain. Wherever you want to go, go with Rakuten. Join today for free. Go to Rakuten.com or get the app. That's Rakuten.
Yo. Check it out. Yes. Thank you for checking out another edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm 12 Kyle. Then again, you probably already know that by now. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. You can find it on iTunes, the 12 Kyle podcast. You can find it on Stitcher, the 12 Kyle podcast. You can find it on SoundCloud. Go to soundcloud.com/12-Kyle. It's pretty simple. I'm everywhere. I'm here, I'm there. I'm everywhere. I'm in your ears right now. I want to do something real quick. As many of you know, and maybe you don't know, it was 6 years ago today that I started a little thing called the 12 Radio Show. And I'll be honest, I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea how to make it work. I had no concept, no anything. I just wanted to talk. So the 12 Radio Show actually spawned into something that I thought was very, I thought it was dope. I thought it was dope. It was like a little, not even a project, but it was just something that I really, really enjoyed doing. And so, as I mentioned, it's been 6 years, and I cannot and will not go on without saying a big, big thank you to everyone who made it possible. There's a lot of people who, took the time out to help me build the brand or help me build what the 12 Radio Show was. As many of you know, or maybe a few of you know, the 12 Radio Show is no longer in existence. It has morphed into this thing called the 12 Kyle podcast. So it gave birth to something else, and I'm really enjoying this podcast. I kind of miss the live shows, and I miss having people call in and stuff like that. But this podcast allows me to do a lot more, very little time. So it's a beautiful thing so far. But I wanted to take a second, and I thought about writing a blog, but then I was like, nah, that sounds too cheesy and too corny, and I'm just way too cool to be corny, right? So what I wanted to do was just do a little podcast, and I wanted to take it back. I want to take it back to like 87, 88, 89. Remember back in the day when you open up your little liner notes in your albums or your tapes, and they gave shout outs. So this right here is going to be just straight shout outs. I got to give a shout out to everybody. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to go off the dome and shout out every single co-host that has come on and co-hosted with me, or at least had me on one of their shows. So hopefully I don't forget anybody. First and foremost, man, got to give a big shout out to the Jaded New Yorker. The Jaded New Yorker she was the first one. She had a show on Blog Talk Radio, and she was the first one to have me on her show. And she was one of the few people that said, hey, you need to get your own show. You need to get your, probably because I was trying to take over her show. So big shout out to Jada New Yorker. Next big shout out goes to young ladies like a little sister to me, Coogee Cruz. She's funny. She's funny. She's hilarious. Loved having her on all the shows that she was on. Next big shout out to former teammate of mine, good friend, my man Big Larry. What can I say about Big Larry? Big Larry is obviously probably the biggest. I mean, Big Larry is like 6'6", 300 pounds. He's like the biggest freak that I know. And and Big Larry, and another big shout out to my homegirl Erica, who lives right here in the A. Big Larry and Erica co-hosted with me on 2 sex shows. And when I tell you, those were like 2 of the, like, I've never laughed so hard when I was supposed to be doing a show and like I couldn't keep it together because Larry's just funny. And every now and then I go back and listen to those shows, pure comedy, man. So big shout out to Big Larry and Erica. Next big shout out is going to the homie C-Rex straight out of Chi-Town. Huge hip hop head, man. Good dude, man. He just moved here to the A, so I'm looking forward to linking up with C-Rex. Like I said, good dude. Big shout out to C-Rex. Next big shout out to good friend of mine, man. She is an author. She is a mother, and she has no damn sense whatsoever. My girl Chris Renee. What can I say about Chris Renee? She's a Sagittarius, first and foremost. I mean, her birthday's the day after mine. She doesn't have any sense whatsoever. If you know Chris Renee, you know that she is fool, and I mean that in the most lovingly way. But she's done several of my shows, man, straight out of St. Louis, man. A true gem of a person. If you ever get a chance to meet her, she is loony, to say the least. Big shout out to Chris Renee. Speaking of St. Louis, man, probably one of the the coolest cat to come out of St. Louis since Neil Lomax. My man Dig Game, man. Shout out to Dig Game, the host of the Straight Outta Low Cash podcast. Dig has had me on their podcast, and he's been on my show several times. Now, my man Dig, one thing that I remember about him is that he holds the distinct honor of not once but twice disappearing during a 12 radio show. I mean, one time his phone he was in the car and his phone just died. And like, we didn't hear from Dig for the rest of the show. I mean, like, he didn't have no backup. He was on that Metro PCS, I guess. I don't know what happened. And then another time he was supposed to be putting his little daughter, Xander, to bed. And I guess Xander put him to bed because he never came back to the show. So big shout out to the alderman of St. Louis, my man Dig Game. Also got to give a big shout out to 2 people that really were dope as far as sports was concerned. My homegirl Diva D and my man OJ Philly. They hosted a show here, well, actually was on Blog Talk Radio called In the Clutch. And they came on the 12 radio show a couple of times. They did sports shows with me. If you talk about 2 people that know their sports, they're no longer doing a show together, no longer doing In the Clutch, but I mean, great sports fans, very knowledgeable. And big shout out to OJ. He's actually on the radio up in Philly, WHURD, every Saturday from 12 to 2. So if you're in Philly, make sure that you check him out. You can check him out online as well. So big shout to OJ and Diva D. The next big shout out, man, goes to and these cats. It's funny how we connected. Dead End Hip Hop, man. Those are my boys, man. When I say good dudes, I mean good dudes all around, man. We connected through, and big shout out to Monique for kind of bringing it all together. I had no idea who Dead End Hip Hop was or what the hell they did. But when you talk about cats who are very knowledgeable about, what it is that they're doing, and top of the line dudes, man. I mean, just top of the line. So I really enjoyed, working with them and having them on my show. And then obviously, if you know us, we spawned Dead End Hip Hop into Dead End Sports. And that's been a blessing as well, man. We've really enjoyed these last 3 years together. So big shout out to the whole crew, Sophie, as I mentioned, Monique, Rock, my man Rod, aka Modest Media, Beezy, FIFO, Ken, Mike Seatown. Big shout out, one love to Dead End Hip Hop. Next big shout out goes to my man Jeff. I think Jeff co-hosted on one show. Jeff out of New York, aka Mr. Funk Digital. So big shout out to the homie Jeff. Real good dude. That's my dog right there. The next big shout out goes to the Soul Survivors crew. Who are the Soul Survivors crew, you might ask? That's Aisha, my man Vince, El Marie, and Samantha. They've co-hosted on a few shows. I mean, like, there's so much that I could say about the Soul Survivors crew, but I'll probably get in trouble for saying it, so I won't say it. But big shout out to my crew. I got nothing but love for them. They are great people, and I really enjoy having them on the show. Next big shout out I got to give is to one of the most very intelligent, one of the most intelligent people I've had on the show, and also one of the most countryest people you would ever want to hear. And I mean that with love. And that's my homegirl, Smarty Jones. I loved having Smarty on the show because, you know, she has the most southernest twang that you would ever want to hear. But it was just so dope, man, just to hear it, man. And she always has something funny or something good to say. Very opinionated. And when Smarty wasn't co-hosting, she was calling in, giving us hell. So I definitely appreciate the love. So, and Smarty always would come through. Next big shout out goes to my homeboy Juan. Juan and I go back all the way to South Carolina State University, man. We were in college, man. That dude would come on, and I mean, this is one of my best friends. He would come on and we talk sports. He did a couple of dating shows. Funny dude. Be on the lookout for Juan. He's going to do something major in this world. Trust me. Next big shout out goes to my homegirl Christy. She came and co-hosted on a dating show as well. And one thing I remember about Christy, I think I asked her like at the last minute, and she was able to do it. So big shout out to Christy up there in Raleigh. Next big shout out I gotta give a big shout out to my homegirl Tiffany. Tuskegee alum. Oh Lord, I don't want her to knock me out. Tuskegee alum. My homegirl Tiffany. She's a Florida girl living down in ATL. Tiffany and I, we go way back to the days of writing blogs. And Tiffany now lives in Atlanta. So Tiffany, at some point, now that you're in Atlanta, we're going to meet. Our family's going to get together at some point. I don't know when, but we need to make that happen. But big shout out to Tiffany. She co-hosted on a couple of marriage shows and always has some dope information and entertainment for you. Next big shout out goes to the homie Jay Mayo. Jay had me on his show, on his podcast, the Up for Discussion podcast. Real super dope brother, man. That dude he is one of a kind. I love what he's doing, man. Real good spirit, man. So shout out to Jay Mayo. Next big shout out to my homegirl Keely. Keely represents the website boysucks.com. She came on several dating and relationship shows. Keely is wild. To put it lightly, Keely's wild, but she is a really cool person, and I definitely enjoy having her on. A big shout out to Keely. Next big shout out goes to my homegirl Kai Love from the Pisces Life podcast. Kai had me on her podcast, and she's been on a couple of shows here. Poet extraordinaire, Kai Love. Definitely loved having her on. Kai is a great person. Got a chance to meet her last year. Mad cool. She thinks she knows her sports, but she don't. She gonna kill me for that. So big shout out to Kai. Next big shout out to Sweet Stiletto. Sweet Stiletto came through, co-hosted on the a couple of Love Jones edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Of the 12 radio show. Loved having her on, and big shout out to you and your little baby girl. She is so adorable. Next big shout out, gotta give a big shout out, Texas style shout out to my homegirl Nadia, aka Ms. Chaotic. She is by far, I mean, she represents Texas to the fullest. Very opinionated, very entertaining. If you heard any of the shows we ever did, Ms. Chaotic she always had something to say about anything, but we always had a ball. Next, got to give a big shout out to Raina Song. I'm just going to give a big shout out to Raina Song because you know what? I can't and I won't get into why Raina Song isn't around anymore or where she is. I'm pretty sure she probably still listens to my shows. But Raina, if you're listening, I definitely appreciate the love. I mean, I'm not going to get into what happened to you and why you disappeared and why you fell off the face of the earth. I don't know if you're in B13 or whatever, but anyway, nonetheless, big shout out to Raina Song. Also big shout out to Naima out of New Jersey. She came through, co-hosted. I think she co-hosted once or twice. She would always call in too. I definitely appreciate the love from her. Huge shout out to my man Curly Simpson out of Augusta. Huge Saints fan. Both he and his wife Cynthia. But I won't hold that against him. He co-hosted on a marriage show. Real deep brother, man. Real deep brother. And I definitely appreciate him coming through. Next big shout out goes to my homegirl, Sexy Love out of the Twin Cities. I think Sexy Love co-hosted on a show back in like 2010, 2011. I can't remember. But we had a good time. Sexy Love she's wild. I mean, like really wild. So you have to listen to the show. Big shout out to the homie, man. I never got a chance to get him on my show. He had me on his podcast, the Single Simulcast podcast. That's my man Rashani out in Seattle. Rashani is first and foremost a huge Seattle Seahawks fan out there on the West Coast, man. We never could work it out where we could get him on my show. Hey, but that dude is when I say hilarious, I mean he's one of the funniest people doing podcasts or anything right now. Love listening to the Single Simulcast podcast. So big shout out to my man Rashani. Big shout out to my homegirl Shantae, represent H-Town. What can I say about Shantae? I mean, there's a lot that I could say about Shantae, but she probably slapped me if I said it. So I'm not going to say nothing good about her. Big shout out to Shantae. I definitely appreciate you all the time coming through. We go way back. We go back to the days of writing blogs and stuff. Next, huge shout out to a young buck, Q the Six Man. Q the Six Man, he's come on here. We connected through Dead End Sports, and he's co-hosted with me on a couple of hip hop shows, man. Real deep cat. Only 20 years old, boy. You going places. Got a new podcast running himself. Hey, so big shout out to Q. The next big shout out gotta go to the homie Raw Dog Buffalo, aka my man Torrance, aka the Scholar. What can I say about Torrance? Torrance, we go back to, like I said, like 2007. Torrance lives here in Atlanta, and I remember, man, like there were times when he had his shop downtown. I would go by his shop, man. We'd be like some old men. We'd just be sitting in there chilling, drinking wine, and just reminiscing and talking about the future and stuff, man. But he's like a big brother to me, always willing to lend some sound advice, man. So big shout out to my man Torrance. Another huge shout out to another fellow hip hop head, Rashawn Jamal. Ladies and gentlemen, Rashawn Jamal, huge Big Daddy Kane fan. I won't hold that against him. But man, that dude would come through all the time for the hip hop shows, and definitely loved having him on. Rashawn's a good dude. If you ever want to hear some great stalker stories, Rashawn's got tons of them. Just hit him up and ask him about any stalker stories that he's gotten. Next, huge shout out to my homegirl from Brooklyn. My girl Krishna. She is Brooklyn 100%. I mean, like as soon as you hear her talk, you will understand that she is from Brooklyn and she does not hold her tongue for nobody. But big shout out to Krishna. She always came through. I think probably one of we did a lot of shows together, but I think probably one of the most important shows that I've ever done on the 12 Radio Show was the 12 Radio Show that we did after the shooting in Charleston. At the church, and I wasn't even going to do a show, and Krishna texted me. She said, yo, we got to do a show tonight. And so when she said that, I was like, okay. We did it, and it was talking and doing that show with her made me feel better about the situation, because I was in a bad place after all of that stuff happened. So big shout out to Krishna, man. That's my girl. She is Brooklyn. She is Brooklyn to death. Next big shout out is to one of my homeboys. I mean, like, me and this cat, we go back to freshman year at South Carolina State University, man. This is my dog. This is my teammate. He's the godfather of my oldest son. This is my man, Mo. This is one of my right hand. My man, Mo, he came through, co-hosted a couple of times. Probably it's hard for me to say that I have favorite shows, but if I had to pick a few favorite shows, one of my favorite shows was the 12 versus 27, which were our college numbers that we did on the 12 radio show. Man, that's my dude. So big shout out to Mo. And let's see who else. I'm trying to think off the top of my. Can't forget the hip hop historian, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. Eclectic. Man, when I tell you, we've done a lot of shows together. I mean, like, me and E are probably like Ghostface and Raekwon when it comes to these shows. He's been on my shows. I've been on his podcast. It's rare for us to agree on hip hop, but we love hip hop so much, man. We love doing shows together. Now, he was totally wrong about Mary J. Blige killing R&B, but that's an old argument. Nonetheless, man, big shout out to the homie Eclectic, man. We got a lot of stuff planned, so make sure that you stay tuned to this podcast and his podcast, because we got a lot of heat coming for you. Let's see who else. Cannot forget three of my homies, man. These guys, D Love Hall, my man Derek, VA Easy, my boy Zell, and Jay Fresh. Three of my best friends growing up. I've known Jay Fresh since I was 6 years old. Me and Zell been friends since 7th grade. I think I met Derek when I was in the 10th grade. They were in my wedding. I was in their wedding. I mean, like, those are my boys. It's something to be said for when you have your best friends on your shows, because it just makes it feel so organic. I mean, the things we talked about were things that we talk about sitting around just kicking it, or talking on the phone or whatever. So, man, it goes without saying, I love those dudes, man. Anytime I need anything, they're there. So, and that goes beyond the show, but I just loved having them on the show. Last but not least, man, probably the person who's done more 12 radio shows than anybody, the homie Shelly Shell. There's a lot I could say about Shelly Shell, but Shelly Shell has always been there. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I remember there would be times, like, my show would be on every Wednesday at 9. I might hit Shell up at like 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. I text her like, Shell, I need a co-host for the night. You busy? She's like, nah, I got you. And she would always come through, man. And I always appreciate that, and Shell had probably hands down one of the funniest moments on the 12 radio show, where we were doing a live show and she was boiling an egg, I think. And she forgot that the egg was on. So halfway through the show, she just starts, I guess she went into her kitchen and all she could see was smoke. And so she starts yelling. And I'm like, man, what the hell is wrong with shit? And she was like, my kitchen is on fire. Yo, it was so funny. I'm going to go back and find that clip and edit it and put it on the podcast just for fun. I mean, it was pure comedy, man. So big shout out to Shelly Shell. Last but not least, man, I got to shout out my family. Definitely got to thank my wife, Sharice, and my kids, because they have given something. They've given me to you. They've allowed me to do this show or do that show, for 6 years, and, that's 2 hours away from them, every Wednesday night. And it may not seem like a lot, but it is. And it's, I definitely appreciate their support. My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, all my family and friends who supported. Everybody who, and I appreciate everybody who's taken the time out, everybody that's shouted out, because I think when you look at it, you have given yourself and you've given away 2 hours, and then subsequently told your friends, and then I got cool with your friends, and my friends became your friends. We became friends. We could do this every week. I'm joking. But seriously, I definitely appreciate it. So anytime you need anything, I got you. I mean, anything, just say it. I mean, other than money, I got you. Because all I got is $32.87, and I got to get my page off layaway. But seriously, I definitely appreciate it. I could have written a blog, but it just made more sense for me to just do a shout out. And I'm going to send this to each and every one of you. And I just wanted to, thank you from the bottom of my heart. The 12 radio show, as I mentioned, is no longer in existence. This is what it is. It's the 12 Kyle podcast. So, once I get this technology up and running and I figure out how to do certain things, I'll be bringing most of you back on to co-host and, podcasts and stuff like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to the future. But I had to take time just to give you a shout out. So I got number love for everybody. And again, if I missed anybody, charge it to the game, not to my heart. So that's me coming off the dome. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, I'm pretty sure somebody cussed me out. Nonetheless, man, that's going to do it for me. Again, thanks a lot. I appreciate the love. It's been a great 6 years. Great run for the 12 radio show. 12 Kyle podcast is here. It's taking off. And I want to thank you and thank you and thank you, because without me and without you, there would be no me. And I appreciate it. I'm going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more, and all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, visit Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.